Here we go. What is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope it's going well. The weekend is upon us, and I got to get you off on the good note. Today we're diving back into 2023 fantasy football, and we're talking too much risk for wide receivers. And I got some pretty high-level talent here at the wide receiver spot that I'm not really, coveting this season simply because of situation and, circumstance on the club. There is an issue for me that we cannot draft these wide receivers where they are right now, even though some of the value does appear to be, relevant and appropriate. But I just can't do it. And we're starting with Michael Pittman, man. Wide receiver 29 right now on the ECR, expert consensus rankings. He finished as a wide receiver 23 last year in 16 contests. So, right now at wide receiver 29, we're talking, the value is decent. It's not great for me. I think there's better opportunity that we can snag here at the wide receiver spot over a Michael Pittman. You can go and stack your running backs before you're even filling in the need of wide receiver, especially with Pittman at wide receiver 29 and the situation with these Colts that they find themselves in with a rookie passer with extreme high upside, mind you, but it is going to take some time. Anthony Richardson is a little bit of a raw prospect, and we know this. What does a rookie quarterback typically do in this league anyway? 3,000 yards, 17 TD passes. Is that enough to get Michael Pittman back into the wide receiver 25 rank? I highly doubt it. It's going to be very difficult. Added pieces like a Josh Downs, who is also going to take passes away from a Michael Pittman. They're going to be extremely run heavy in Indianapolis this year. Don't kid yourself on that one. JT is going to be back to full health, and the RPOs with Anthony Richardson are going to be money. So if you're drafting Anthony Richardson, you're drafting him for sheer and rushing upside, absolutely. And we're talking wide receivers that do hover around him right now, 24 to 30. We got DeAndre Hopkins, Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, Tyler Lockett, Mike Williams, and Brandon Ayuk, respectively, hovering around the same value where a Michael Pittman is. And I would make an argument that I could take every single one of those gentlemen over Michael Pittman right now with, better warm and fuzzies in the belly, because the value is going to be there. We're looking for target share, obviously. Michael Pittman is still probably the wide receiver one on this club, but you can get better path to targets than you will with a Michael Pittman. Last year with a Matt Ryan, Michael Pittman only saw 50% boom rate consistency, and you guys honestly believe that that's going to increase this year? I could easily see his boom games drop down into the 40s, if not the 30s this year outside of TD upside if they do start finding him more in the end zone to inflate his statistics. I just don't foresee a massive season forthcoming for Michael Pittman with a rookie passer that will take some time to, round out his game as a true passing quarterback. It's a tough situation for me. Unless Michael Pittman does drop down this board a lot, I do not foresee myself taking him at wide receiver 29. Like I said, DeAndre Hopkins right now rumored to go to those New England Patriots. I'd take that in a heartbeat over a Michael Pittman. Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, similarly, I will take them without even thinking about it, and over a Michael Pittman at this point, there is great deal of risk. I'm a big Michael Pittman supporter, always have been, and likely always will be. But right now, the value to return on investment just isn't there for me to suggest that we can trust him. Far too much risk for Michael Pittman this year for me to covet, and I'm going to move on to Mike Evans. One of the most underappreciated wide receivers in this league, Mr. Consistent, Mr. 1,000-yard pass catcher throughout his entire career. He is an absolute Hall of Famer in the making that nobody really discusses with high-end elite capabilities and everything that comes with his game. Right now, Mike Evans is wide receiver 32, and it is appropriate as he has dropped down the board. He did finish last year as wide receiver 16 in 15 contests. However, we put the caveat on that 41-point game that he did possess at the end of the season. If he did not have that, he was not even cracking the top 20, y'all. So this is the situation we have without Tom Brady. Now you got Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask battling it out to be the quarterback one in Tampa Bay. It's not a good look. It's going to be a big problem for Mike Evans to try to find his way back to that 1,000-yard mark. Everyone's still talking of Chris Godwin being the safety blanket for one of these passers in Mayfield or Trask. What happens with Mike Evans in this situation? Are they going to be passing a lot, as the games go on? More garbage time points for Mike Evans. It's very much possible. But do you want to, stretch it out the entire game when you're watching, needing points, and you're hoping that Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask is going to find Mike Evans for touchdowns? Like, this is one of these situations where Tom Brady leaves and the risk just went through the roof on one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. Here we got 30-38. Brandon Ayuk, Christian Watson, Deontay Johnson, Jahan Dotson, George Pickens, and Jordan Addison, all in the realm between where you can get Mike Evans and better value down this board. Like I'm saying, Deontay Johnson is one of these guys at 34. Yes, okay, the dropping problem still resides in Pittsburgh. You got Kenny Pickett in this offense, and I do like how Pickett did perform as the season wore on. I think they're going to be very good to decent. I think that it's going to be able to support these wide receivers here in Pittsburgh. Jahan Dotson, everybody's sleeping on, and I'm telling you, I'll get on board with this man right now because he could even fall in your drafts. You get better value to return on investment. Also, I'm a big Sam Howell supporter and will continue to preach it because I do believe with Eric Bieniemy, they're going to be able to put up some good statistics in Washington. George Pickens, another one at 37, you could easily snag for a very similar statistical achievement. You want to believe, as Pickens is one of those dogs, man. Once he starts going and he starts figuring things out, he's going to put up lights out numbers for you. And then Jordan Addison in Minnesota, he's going to give you everything you require from a rookie because he plays with JJ, and they're going to pass the ball now, especially without Dalvin Cook on this roster. Last year with a Tom Brady, Mike Evans only saw his boom consistency rate at 46.6%. This is no bueno especially with Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask. I mean, unless Baker shows out to be, what he was with the LA Rams in that one contest he played on Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football, whatever it was. I just don't see it, man. Baker, the Bake Show has already shown and proven what he cannot do in this league. Kyle Trask, okay, we still don't really know, but I mean, it's Kyle Trask. He's a decent quarterback. Is he going to elevate this offense to Tom Brady levels? Very high, highly unreliable, and you really can't trust that at this point. So for me, where you're getting Mike Evans in terms of value isn't terrible, but it is still a risk for me because I think there is better possibilities to get you that boom consistency rate and build your club the way it should be built. And let's move on to the last wide receiver I got, Devonte Adams. And I've been talking about Devonte all off season so far because the situation with the Las Vegas Raiders is not okay. It is not a good situation. Jimmy G failed physicals, secondary plan potentially bringing in Carson Wentz to be the savior again. This is not a good situation for a Devonte Adams, even though he is the true elite talent that could probably make me look like a great quarterback in the NFL. Devonte Adams will be able to carry and uplift any quarterback in this league, like I'm saying, but with the situation as it resides with Jimmy G, it's not terrible. But if you're talking about wide receiver 7, I think you got to drop him down a little bit because last year, he finished as wide receiver 2 in 17 games, and his boom consistency rate was 64.7. So even there, he wasn't overly consistent in the 70 mark like you would have hoped that for a wide receiver 2. So he did have a lot more blow-up games where they were over the 20-point threshold than being consistent for the entire season. That was Devonte Adams in the offense with a Derek Carr. What do we expect it to be better with a Jimmy Garoppolo? It's very tough to trust. And if it is Carson Wentz, I mean, we got another big problem on our hands because it could get even worse. And you're talking value to return on investment. You got from 5 to 11, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, and Jalen Waddle. Waddle time. That I would, I could make an argument for all these gentlemen to be picked above a Devonte Adams. I mean, Amon-Ra, maybe not, but Garrett Wilson now with Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Waddle consistently gets you over 1,000 yards in this offense with the Miami Dolphins. Stephon Diggs, everyone's still, wondering how it's going to go down with all the drama that's going on with Diggs in Buffalo right now. He still is a top 3 wide receiver in this league, Stephon Diggs is. So, I mean, that the point productivity is definitely going to be there. It's just the situation that Devonte Adams finds himself in. We could see a massive regression in touchdown upside. We could see a massive regression in how many targets do come to his direction. So this is a problem. The value for ADP wide receiver 7, it's just far too vast for me to trust. I have Devonte Adams on many dynasty leagues, and I'm very skittish right now on what I'm going to do with this man. Should I try to ship him? But now my value is extremely lower because the quarterback situation isn't great here in Las Vegas. It's a tough situation, but for me, if we're talking Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown over Devonte Adams, I can absolutely make that argument where it is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now you're a little closer. Garrett Wilson might have a massive blow-up year with an Aaron Rodgers, so I mean, I could definitely make that case as well. Devonte Adams right now is just feeling a little bit overpriced, and it's because of name cachet over how the team situation is right now in the fold and how it's unfolding right now. If it is Carson Wentz, this is going to make my argument even that much better, so we'll see how it does shake down. But there you go. There it is. 3 wide receivers that possess far too much risk for me. And I think there's better value that we can obtain here in this fantasy football draft when draft season does come our way. It's a tough one, but these wide receivers, I'm definitely holding out hope eventually will pan out. But this year, I'm just saying, you know what? You can shop for better products that will have better consistency and do have a better situation. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What are you guys thinking? These wide receivers too much risk for you? Are you guys still all in on these guys? Throw them in the comments. We can definitely talk it out. But we'll see you next time. I am out.